Welcome. Welcome, everybody. How are you doing today? It's so very nice to have you here. And today I wanted to speak about what arises for us in the face of the coronavirus, and also about what is the true meaning of everything is okay just the way it is. So, as the coronavirus sweeps the world and all our lives are changing because of that, the reality of our lives is really changing. I want to remind us all to be very practical, to stay informed, to be mindful of what are the sources of our information, and to also remember that the nervous system is going to activate in the face of that, and that the survival instinct is going to kick in, and that we are going to experience fears, worries, anxieties because of that, and yet that we have a very powerful and very direct way of addressing that, which is the process of inquiry. What I also notice is that the world has profoundly slowed down in its activity, and that slowing down, as challenging as it may be, it also provides us with an opportunity to reconnect with what really matters, to really come more into the inner and potentially find more connection with peace, love, connection, true connection, and inner freedom. And so today, I want to invite us all to do a little process of inquiry on what arises for us in the face of that, and also speak a little bit about what is okayness. So when I speak about okayness, when I say everything is okay just the way it is, I don't mean a surface ego-based okayness that is just in agreement with what is happening. When I say everything is okay just the way it is, I mean a real deep, profound recognition that everything is okay just the way it is, just because it is present. So whenever you are at rest here, whenever you come to rest in our true nature, even just for a moment, a minute, a day, an hour, a year, but even just for a moment, in those moments when peace and rest is here, what we also recognize is that everything is okay just the way it is, that nothing has to change. And that okayness is really the foundation. It is also the true manifestation or a symptom of our true nature. And that, of course, that okayness is very much in the opposite to what the mind thinks, right? So often the mind is going to give you a very different picture. And therefore, we use the okayness, the symptom of our natural state, as a foundation of our inquiry. So we want to start our inquiry just by being present here for a moment. You want to keep your eyes open this time, just to give more information to your nervous system and brain. And I want you to speak about what arises for you in the face of that challenge. And please don't hold back. We all might have different fears and worries and anxieties, what's going to happen with your life, with your work, with your, loved ones, with your health. If there's any concerns and worries and anxieties about that, let's just lay it out. Let's have it all out on the table. And you can speak it aloud right now. And if you are doing it on your own, you can also speak it aloud, or you can write it down Sometimes writing it down really helps, to lay it down on paper. And as that sharing slows down, I want you to notice the sensations that are present in your body. And remember, we are not looking for anything. We are just curious about what is actually here. These sensations are just an anchor for the mind, it's going to show you how whatever you are experiencing, how that affects your body mind, how that affects your physiology. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to ask yourself that inquiry question. And remember that that question is not for your mind. It's not for your thinking to determine that, but you want to drop that question deeply within. You want to ask that question with curiosity as to what it really is, what is it like in your own experience. And the question is, right now, in this moment, these sensations, the way you experience them right now, are these sensations okay? And here the answer can be either yes or no. And, anything that is not a yes, it's a no. And I often say, it doesn't really matter if it's yes or no, because we are just in the curiosity of where are you really at? Where really is your attention? You want the truth of that. You don't want the right answer. You want the truth of that. So if the answer is yes, I'm going to ask you to just sit here and notice the sensations as they are. And if there's a lot going on the level of sensation, you want to support the nervous system by noticing your feet and your legs. Noticing the weight of your body. Noticing your arms and your hands. And if the answer is no, we don't want to just for it to be, a mental experience, a thought, right? We want to identify that no as a sensation in the body. So if your answer is no, notice where is that sense of no in your body. And if you identify it as a sensation, just let yourself rest here. And again, if there's a lot going on the level of sensation, you can support your nervous system and brain, eyes open. Notice arms and hands. Notice legs and feet. Notice the weight of your body as you are sitting. And eventually, as you are sitting here, there's going to be a shift. That shift is really your nervous system coming out of whatever reactivity it has been in. Fight, flight, freeze, overwhelm, collapse. You might experience that shift as slowing down. You might experience it as disappearance of the sensations. You might experience it as a change of the perception. Suddenly the room maybe looks a little brighter. You definitely will experience it as slowing down of your thoughts. And naturally, now you would experience, all of us will experience that profound sense of okayness. As we come to rest here in our natural state. So you want to stay here as you come more to rest, as you are more present. And you also want to do this inquiry often to really counteract your thinking, not to deny it, not to dismiss it, not to want to argue with it or try to make it irrelevant, but to recognize that a lot of our, anxiety-based thoughts are really connected to the activation in our nervous system and connected to, the mind moving with that. And that as we come here and as we address it and as we sit here, we are naturally going to arrive in peace. And I also want to invite you all to join me in our upcoming programs. It's very powerful when we come together and sit with that intention for peace, awakening, and freedom.